Yo, what's going on, guys? It's CRV. Welcome back to the channel. We're doing my first, I guess, student case study. I guess we're gonna call it. This is one of my students, Caden, who's been working with me for about 3 to 4 months now. I'm gonna be asking him some questions. We're gonna be going over through his journey so far. Again, he's only been doing this for 3 4 months. He's got a lot more to go, but he has made incredible progress in the last 3 to 4 months. I've loved working with him, and I'm just gonna ask him some questions about his experience and stuff like that, just to give you guys a little glimpse of the inside of the mentorship that does open in about 2 weeks. I think, yeah, opens May 31st, starts June 7th. So we're gonna be booking up the slots on the 31st, and the mentorship will start on the 7th. And we're just going to kind of go over what that is kind of going to look like with Caden, who's someone who's went through a similar thing. Not quite to the degree I'm doing it now, but a similar thing. So anyway, Caden, introduce yourself, bro.
What's up, guys? My name is Caden. Like CRV said, I've been trading with him for about 3 to 4 months now. And yeah, the journey has been pretty good so far.
Yeah, fire, man. How old? Tell him how old you are.
I'm 19 years old. I'm
Yep.
currently going into my sophomore year as a student at USF.
Yeah,
So
fire. Yeah, and we're actually both go to USF now. We both live in the Tampa area, and the funny thing is, and we might talk about this more a little bit later. I didn't even know you lived in Tampa until after we started working together, and then we actually met up a few weeks ago and just we hung out together, chilled together, met him in person because we didn't live that far from each other. We both lived in Tampa, and I didn't even know that. And then I was like, let's go do something. So that was cool. But anyway, yeah. So I'm asking Caden some questions. He's gonna go over kind of his journey so far in these 3 to 4 months of him getting into the whole trading thing. So Caden, first off, what made you want to get into trading? Why trading?
So honestly, it was a lot of it was TikTok because
Mm,
you see a lot of influencers posting about it. Making a couple bands in a day. Steph
right.
Trade's one of them. I saw him on there a lot, and yeah, I saw the fact that you can make a lot of money, and I was in
Yeah.
college. Not trying to work that 9 to 5 anymore.
No, I feel you, bro. I feel you, bro. Um, And then how'd you find out about me? Where did you hear about me? Because I mean, we've been working together for a while. So 4 months ago, I didn't really have a huge following. I don't even have the biggest following now. I definitely has grown, but 4 months ago was definitely not big. So how did that come about?
I think it was also TikTok, but
Okay.
then I hit you up on Instagram about the mentorship.
Oh, fireman. Um, yeah. So but that's kind of my question is 4 months ago. I probably maybe had maybe 5,000 followers on Instagram, definitely maybe 3,000 on TikTok. So very small, um, and it's cool how much I've grown so quickly. But you know, um, I definitely did not have a big following back then. So what made you? And it's kind of jumping a question on you, but what made you want to go for work with someone like me who's smaller rather than someone for example, one of my good friends, Steph Trades, who's really big, or TJR, who's really big. What made you decide to work with someone smaller like me rather than one of the bigger guys out there?
If I'm being honest, I think a lot of it was seeing that you were also a student at my school and
Yeah,
same age doing this thing. I felt like it would be a little bit more personable, and
yeah,
it felt
for
like it
sure.
would actually be some one-on-one coaching instead of getting some influencers course.
Right. No, that makes perfect sense. And yeah, that's what I tell people. It's like if you go for the TJR, the Steph, even though Steph is a very good friend of mine, but if you go for them, they have so many people they're working with. It's not going to be super, personable, or it's not going to be super. It's one on one, but it's not going to be real one on one. And Caden texts me all the time. I have his number. We text all the time. We talk all the time. We live in the same city, so we'll probably hang out again soon. But for sure, I definitely get that because that's something definitely if when I got into trading, I definitely want to look for that too. So that makes perfect sense. But cool. So what was the learning process like? And obviously, we're always still learning. As traders, we're always still learning. But what was the learning process like at the beginning? And how were our one-on-one calls that we did? I know we did a good bit together, and worked together on some stuff. So just talk about those and how they went, how they helped you, stuff like that, and what your kind of opinion on them was.
Yeah, no, I love the one-on-one calls because again, one-on-one, being able to talk to someone actually ask them the questions you want to ask.
Yep.
Um, I remember in the very beginning, you asked me if I knew what long and short meant. I thought it meant long term and short term, but that was just that was the tip of the iceberg for trading.
I
So
remember that. Yeah.
literally taught me the fundamentals, how to draw zones, how to actually read the market, supply and
Right,
demand,
right.
and pretty much it's gotten me pretty far so far.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome, dude. That's great. Um, cool. And so the one-on-one calls were great. Yeah, the one-on-one calls, guys, if you don't know how they work, is like, and it's gonna be a little different with the new mentorship that's launching in like 2 weeks. But how I did it with Caden in what we are still doing with the new mentorship, I'm just adding on more stuff this time. It was like literally me and Caden in an hour long call weekly for the whole time. So those obviously help a lot. And you guys got to realize I do that with every single student. So I literally am on hour-long one-on-one calls every day. Like I work a full, basically a 9-hour shift teaching people how to trade. So, anyway, but they are definitely beneficial. Everyone that has ever like I've mentored or taught all love the one-on-one calls the best by far because no one else does them because no one else is like super dedicated like that to sit on a call with every single person individually for an hour and a lot of times go over the same stuff over and over again. But me, I will because I understand the benefit in that and I understand not everyone can learn with a huge group of people and stuff like that. So I always try to individualize everything. But cool, man. And how much funded are you now? Like how much in funding do you have in your pocket so far in these only like short 3 months, 4 months?
So I have 750,000, and then we're working
Dang,
up to that million point. Gotta keep going.
that's crazy, bro. Almost $1 million in funding is pretty good, dude. That's insane. In 3 months, that's crazy. Yeah, we're going, and that milli is gonna feel crazy. You can say you're a seven-figure funded trader, 7 figures in funding. That is fire. Um, that's crazy, man. Congratulations. But
Appreciate it.
what is your favorite thing about trading? Like I know there's a lot of different, and I know said what made you want to get into trading, and so this might be a similar question, but like with trading, like there's a lot of other ways you can make money online. I think online money is the next thing, and there are other ways to make money online. We ain't got to go through like which one's the easiest, which one's the hardest, which one's the best, or which one's the worst. But I'm just saying there are other options. So I already asked you what made you want to get into trading, but why trading? What is your favorite thing about trading? What do you like about trading more than the other like I guess avenues of making money?
I would say with trading, it's a couple different things. One of them being it's up to you. It's not
Mm,
it's not anybody else's fault. You took the trade. You have
right.
your rules set. So it's kind of like you learn from your own mistakes, and you can either become better or you can continue to be worse. And also the fact that you can scale your income pretty
Yeah.
big.
Yeah. Yeah. Accountability. That's one of the best things about trading for sure. It's all on you. That's actually a good point. And then yeah, scalability. That I think that is the correct answer because I don't think in any other I guess online money thing or business you can start, trading is the one that like is literally infinite. Like you can scale it pretty insane. As now, what a lot of people struggle and fall into is when they start scaling, they realize how much money they're dealing with, and they can't get there psychologically, and so that's usually a hurdle everyone has to go through. But once you get through that hurdle, which sometimes can take longer for others, sometimes shorter for others, depends on the person. But once you get through that hurdle, you can scale trading pretty insane. Like Caden didn't even hear the word trading until three. Well, obviously he heard it, but you know what I mean. He just got into trading 3 months ago, 4 months ago, and he's already almost at $1 million in funding, and like he's just gonna keep scaling. So that's sick, bro. Um, what would you say to everyone that is like nervous about investing in themselves and getting a mentorship or anything like that? There are a lot of people that are like, I'm not paying for a mentorship, but then they'll go and keep blowing funded, keep blowing funded free, sometimes years on end. What would you say to people that are just so, I guess nervous about that or scared about that to actually invest in a mentor?
I mean, it's as simple as if you can't invest in yourself, you can't expect like everything to happen overnight, because it's just like getting a coach in any sport. You
Mm.
don't get good playing basketball in a day. Same thing with trading. It takes a long time, but if you have a coach that has a couple years of experience, it can speed up the process for sure.
Yeah,
And it also
exactly.
just like all the psychology too. You
Yeah.
can't really teach yourself that without knowing certain things.
Right. Yeah, you can't really teach yourself the psychology without actually going through it. That's actually, and a whole point of a coach is like that he'll help you, like, kind of, I guess, he'll let you know the things that he went through, and then you can watch for them. I always tell people though that you can become a good trader with no mentor, with no help. However, you are just going to it's just going to take longer for most people. Like, that's just the facts. The facts are that without help, without a coach, without a mentor, you can do it. It is possible. It just might take 2 or 3 years for you to get where you want to be. Um, but a whole point of a mentor is that you can learn what you need to know. He can cut out all the fluff for you. That's what I do, and that you can actually get to where you want to be in a way quicker amount of time. And so yeah, 100%. Yeah. Um, so if you can't get a mentor because maybe you just are not financially able to, that's fine. But to the people that are, I mean, like Caden said, it very, very recommended. Very recommended. Cool. And then what are some like common misconceptions either with mentorships or even with trading, like just common misconceptions that you could like clear up to people, that because now that you are doing it and you don't have another job, you do this full time. So like what are some common misconceptions with trading and like kind of mentors and stuff?
So with the mentors, I would say, I guess the fact that this isn't a course, like it's not just fully a course, you actually get the
Mm,
one-on-one, which is
yeah.
what we've talked on a little bit before. Compared to some other people's, they may advertise, live trading one-on-one, but you may get that first one-on-one welcome call, and that's about it. And then with trading, I would say you need like a ton of capital to start.
Yeah.
I would say if you do the right thing and you take it slowly, you can start with a couple $100 and you can definitely turn it into a lot more.
No, 100%. Yeah. Um, that both of those very true, very true. Definitely, a common misconception that people have is like that I like sell a course or something. I don't sell a course. That's not what I sell. I don't think there's any value in selling a course. Why would I sell something? I have a course. Don't get me wrong, but it is free. Like, you don't even need to be in my mentorship to have it. It is free. Speaking of, if you want the course, you can literally click the link in the description. There is a course link where you can watch. It's like 14 videos, goes through psychology, strategy, everything, and a ton of stuff, and it's completely free. So I don't sell a course, but people are gonna always everyone thinks that everyone online sells a course. I don't sell a course. My course is free. I do sell a mentorship because that's where I put a ton of my time into, and I teach people that want to teach, want to invest in themselves. They show that they like really are want to lock in on it by paying and putting their money into it, and then I teach them one-on-one for multiple months, and I take them to where they want to be. So that's kind of the whole thing there. So for sure, definitely true. I don't sell a course. I sell a mentorship. There's a difference. There's a difference. Um, yeah, and I guess, to kind of sign off here, what's a message, like give a little message to everyone getting into trading for the first time? Like, what advice would you give to yourself, like to the Caden that just started 3-4 months ago? Like, what would you say?
If I could talk to myself, I would tell him for sure to get a mentor. It was the best decision, and also to really lock down on the psychology and risk management, because
Mm,
you are playing with money at the end of the day, and you can only blow so much money before you just people, I guess, flush out of the actual industry, and that's what a
yeah.
lot of people quit. They just never become profitable.
Right. Yeah, a lot of the time we see with a lot of people that I'll teach them the strategy. The strategy's fine. They just don't. What really kills people is the psychology and risk management. Because at the end of the day, we all have a natural, inherent emotional attachment to money. So it's really hard to break that. And you guys will see if you guys are thinking about getting into trading and stuff like that, you guys will see that when you do get into trading, like your your mindset will kind of shift, and even in other things in your life, like you kind of have to become not like a stone face like wall, but especially on the charts, you kind of have to literally try your best to take emotion completely out of it, and that will make you such a better trader. And I'm just dropping like free sauce, but whatever. But like, that's very important. So again, that's what really stumbles people most of the time. Not everyone. Of course, the whole mentorship is that it's personalized to you. I'm going to figure out what you need help with, and we'll work through it. But a lot of the times we do see that people know the strategy, people know what they should be doing, they just can't get the risk management and psychology part down because of that mental attachment to the money. So that's why I tell people, if you are financially like unstable, if you do not have a lot of money to your name, do not trade. Do not trade. You're gonna be too attached to it because it's gonna be like, oh, I need this to do this. I need to hit this trade. Oh, I'm down $300. I'm gonna over leverage. Like if you do that, you're just not going to be profitable. Like it's really hard to be profitable if you don't already have at least some money saved up that you're willing to be like, okay, I'm going to invest this in this trading thing. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So definitely keep that in mind. But yeah, that's pretty much it, Caden. I appreciate you for taking the time to do this. A lot of you guys, anyone watching this that's getting into trading has been trading for maybe a few months now or even longer, and they just don't seem to be getting funded, not passing funded accounts, not getting the things they want to do, not getting payouts, stuff like that. Mentorship opens in 2 weeks. You're seeing this video. And yeah, we're only doing 30 spots and no more. So 30 spots in this mentorship. I'm very excited to do it. There's a ton of stuff coming. It's going to be pretty sick. It's going to be one-on-one calls weekly. Plus you're going to have 2 calls a week. One-on-one calls weekly with me. I'm giving everyone my personal phone number as well as group calls where you're going to be specifically selected to certain groups that match your skill set and people that we think are going to mesh with you with a personality assessment. There's a lot of stuff going on there. We're gonna try to give people teams as well as one-on-ones with me, and then also teams that you can work with other traders that are also in the mentorship that you can actually work together and grow together. And I think that'll be really good. I'm super excited for that. So do not miss out. Only 30 spots. So if you are interested, there's gonna be all the information in the description to get locked in on that. And yeah, super hyped for it. So I appreciate you, Caden. Appreciate you for popping out. And yeah, man. Any other final words or anything like that?
No, man. Hey, I appreciate you for having me, and you guys got to tap in. The community is great.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Oh, also, of course, if you do get the mentorship, live trading every single day forever. So I live trade every day forever, even when the mentorship ends in like 2 or 3 months after you've went through it and we've worked together. You still will get to watch me live trade every single day for free. So be on the lookout for that. Dropping in 2 weeks, 30 spots. They're going to go fast, so be ready for that. And yeah, Caden, appreciate it, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah. And let me know in the comments if I should do more like talking in like case studies, I guess, like this. So, but I appreciate you, Caden.